Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the last week of school. After you finish this project for math, you are done with math for the school year. So this week you're going to focus on building the truck. So you've made the menu, you've come up with logos and slogans, and thought about the business plan aspect. Now you want to think about the construction of your food truck, how it's going to all be set up so that you can work in your food truck. All right, so there's not really anything on page 18, but so first things you need to make sure you're looking at the requirements. What do you have to have in your food truck? And it has it all laid out for you. A list of items for your food, for your floor plan and your walls. And you have to decide where to put everything. You must include a counter and open walls to serve your customers, like an opening wall, so that you have a place to hand them the food. Area and perimeter. So you're going to be thinking about the area and the perimeter. Remember, the area is length times width, and the perimeter is you have to add up all the sides. So you're going to find out like the area and the perimeter of the counter, of the trash can, of the driver's seat, things like that. So this is where the math goes in. So an example is the perimeter might be 24, but the area is 26, which I'll show you that. Then you're using your geometry skills to find the best way of fitting all the items in the truck. All trucks and cars are filled with geometry in real life. Use these ideas to help you make the best choices. So this says math is everywhere. So whenever you ask, why do I need to know this? Well, there's a reason behind it. So then it just says be prepared. Make sure your truck makes sense and fits together. Make sure you leave space for the driver to drive in. And make sure you leave a pathway to walk as well. All right, so you are going to look at you have a base, you have walls, and you have a roof. So if we were in class, we would actually be printing this out and then constructing it into a food truck like they do on that first page. They have a picture of a food truck. Be cool if we could do that. You're welcome to do that on your own, but I know a lot of you guys don't have printers, so I'm not making that a requirement. So that's what they're talking about here. If you were to have the actual food truck, we're actually not going to worry about the roof. I'm pretty sure on yours it has it crossed off. Let me see. Oh yeah, so this is what yours looks like. It's already crossed off for you. This is more like the teacher sample that Mrs. Donahue made. So again, this page 20 just explains like what you're doing. 21 talks about, this is an example of a base floor so that you would know how maybe you would set it up. So this one has a sink, and then it's got the counter, it's got a stove, it has some storage, it has a driver area, it has a work table, checkout counter where you would pass the food through, and they don't tell you what this is, maybe a garbage can, I don't know. And then it tells you what the area and the perimeter are. So how they're coming up with this is they're really thinking about in this space. So if you think about this driver space right here, you have 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm counting up those squares. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if you count up the squares, there's 9 squares that whole square is filling up. Actually, oh yeah, it is square. All right. Then the perimeter you're really adding up the sides. So I've got 1, 2, 3 on this side. I have 1, 2, 3 on this side. I have 1, 2, 3 on this side. I've got 1, 2, 3 on that side. So if I count up all those lines, I've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, or 3 times 4 is 12. So that's how I found out that the perimeter, you're counting the outside and all the way around it like a fence. The area, you're just finding those inside squares. So that's how they come up with their perimeter and the area. Here it says the checkout counter, what's the area? So for the area, go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's actually too wide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 10. So the area here would be 10. The perimeter, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 2 on this side, so 5 plus 2 is 7. Another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that would be, sorry, I'm losing count, 12. And then 2 on this side, so that would be 14. So the perimeter is 14. So realistically, this is just an example page just to go over what you're doing, give you an idea. You don't have to do anything on page 21. All right, so the next thing that you're going to do is, I did just look at this and notice that this one says walls only, but it shouldn't. So this one is one of the tech guys version of it. So you can kind of cross off that like walls only, but unfortunately I can't go on all of yours and cross it off. So just hopefully you're watching this video and you're going to do all of them. The other thing that unfortunately is wrong is this says slide 23. It should say slide 22. So for the next slide, you are designing not just the walls, you're designing the food truck. So you're going to be clicking insert the shapes, and you're going to be filling in the colors. So technically on this next page, you're like designing your layout of it using shapes like squares or rectangles, really. Then you're going to fill in the color, and you're going to then use text box, or you could follow this direction too, on what that is. So on this page, that's just like the directions how to do it. There's already an order window done for you, and there's already an emergency door window done for you. But then it has all of these other things that they want you to include somewhere on there. So you already have an exit out of the back. Every time you can kind of put an X in here to like, okay, I already did that one. And I don't see where the order window is. So you would put window over your, okay, so you already have these 2 done for you. So you're going to go up here, find the shape. Mostly use a rectangle or a square. Doesn't make sense to do anything else. But okay, so I need a driver's seat. Well, this is the wall, so it's not going to be on the driver's seat. The driver's seat might be like right. Oops, that one's really big. All right, so I put like the driver's seat here. I might want to make it yellow, and then I could put in the text box and put driver's seat, and then I would put an X over here. Then you need a work counter. So are you going to make that on the same side with the driver's seat or a different one? So again, you can always look back at this this example and see how they set it up. You're going to want on this wall, you're going to want like a windshield wiper, or sorry, a windshield. On this wall, you might want cabinets and things like that. So you can do that. You don't have to do that. On the teacher example, it actually has it done already. So it has it like here. So this is just your rough draft. You're using squares, putting them where you think they would go, and then putting the X's. So hopefully that makes sense. So then you just want to click here. Basically, you're going to put X's in this space if you put a driver's seat. Like I just put a driver's seat on there, so I would write an X there. I already have the exit out the back, so I put an X there. So just to make sure you have everything, because you need to have all the requirements. Then here's another example, so you don't have to do anything on page 24. 25. So 25, it actually says, so it says for the next slide, you'll design the base. Feel free to slide around the pieces, click and drag them to change their side if needed. Also insert images from the web to change it up, or insert your own images if you like. After you are done with the wall and the base floor plan, complete the checklist on page 23 to make sure you have everything. So that's going back to this page with the X's to make sure you have everything. So when we did this, we actually have everything kind of laid out. You don't have to keep it like this. If you don't like the layout of it, you can kind of drag the things around and put them in different places. Or you can leave it that way, whatever you like. And again, it says you can make it bigger. You can change them from the web. So that's page 26. So 27 is 27 and 28. You're going to do the perimeter, the area, and the shape. Most of the shapes are squares or rectangles. All right, so for this page, I moved to the teacher sample, so that's up for you guys as well. But just to show you what it would look like, it says already for you that the area is length times width. It's almost easier to just count the boxes. And then the perimeter is the length times 2 and plus the width times 2, or you can add up all the sides. So here they already, on the teacher example we put for you, the perimeter is 8 units and the area is 4 units and it's a square. So first I'll show you how we got 8. So 8 again is the driver's seat, and we're looking at the perimeter. So the perimeter is the outside edges, so you're counting up the outside. So we've got 1, 2, and we've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's how we came up with 8 for the perimeter, because again, the perimeter is the outside. So there's 2 here, there's 2 here, there's 2 here, and there's 2 here, because it's the perimeter, so it's the outside. For the area, it said 4. So the area is just counting up the squares. So you're going to write 1, 2, 3, 4. There is 4 square units. And the last part is cubic, but that's for volume. And this is just a 2-sided figure. So that's how they got those numbers, and it's a square. You're looking at the driver's seat. So this is the work counter. So the work counter they have for your example is 12 units and 8 units. So the work counter you've got right here. So let's look at that one. So perimeter would be 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we've got 12 for that one. So that's the perimeter, and now the area says it's 8. So the area would be the boxes that are inside. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's 8 square units for that one. So that's how they get those numbers. You're welcome to just copy it for the first 2, but then you're going to finish the rest of the work on your own, and be sure you show your work like they did in the examples of how you got that answer. So you're finishing up page 28, 29. Then the last page 30, I think it's a different number on yours. Oh yeah, it's 29. So 29, just, I don't need you to fill out this part here, but just this part here, like the most challenging project, what's the favorite part, what's one thing that really surprised me, and then something that you learned from a classmate if a classmate helped you out. If not, you can say I didn't work with a classmate. And you don't have to worry about 30 unless you would like to do it. So again, that's how you would do this week. Once you're finished through page 29 answering these questions, you are done. This is due Friday. So I hope you guys reach out to me if you have questions, especially with how to find the perimeter area. I can do a quick Zoom with you. I hope you guys all have a great week, and it was such a pleasure to have you guys in my class. I'll talk to you guys soon.